Whatever rocks your socks, whatever spins your top, whatever winds your watch, whatever flips your flop, whatever turns you on, whatever flies your flag, whatever bangs your gong, or whatever swings your bag. Do it often, but do it well, 'cause nobody knows and there's no way to tell.
Good morning. Welcome to Turtle Beach, Thailand. The name is actually Thai Mueang, but most foreigners can't pronounce Mueang, so we call it Turtle Beach. Don't ever ask a Thai person where is Turtle Beach, because they won't recognize it. They can pronounce Thai Mueang, but the handful of foreigners who live here, we call it Turtle Beach. My name is Steve Rosse. I'm a retired medical transcriptionist from Iowa City, Iowa, in the US. You can probably tell that from my accent. For 25 years, I sat in a sterile cubicle in the basement of a hospital, dreaming of retirement on a beach in Thailand. 2 years ago, I found this place and I retired here. That is my house. I've been here for 2 years and I have been beachcombing nearly every day for those 2 years. And before I take you beachcombing with me, I wanted to show you what I do with the things I bring back from the beach. I'm kind of a fastidious, nitpicky, details-interested kind of guy. So everything I bring home from the beach, I clean, I sort, I categorize, I label, and then I glue trash to other trash and hang it on the wall and call it art. So before we go out to the beach and you start saying, why is he picking that up? Why is he getting excited about that? I just want you to bear with me for a couple minutes. This is the first episode on this channel. So I want you to see what I do with this stuff before I take you out on the beach. So this is the green sward. Right now we're at the very end of the hot, dry season, so it's not really a green sward, it's kind of a brown sward, but it divides the beach from the road and from my house and from the houses of my neighbors. It will, when the rains come here in about a month, it'll become very lush with grass and they will pasture cattle here. This is the beach road. As you can see, things are very exciting here on Turtle Beach. I mean, it's a madcap adventure every day. The pace of life is non-stop. And my neighbors in this lovely big yellow house have 3 dogs who like to yank my chain and bark at me when I come out here. But that's okay. So this is my house. This is my front door. I think you may have just seen it in the drone shot that will open the videos on this channel. I'm going to turn the camera around, give you a brief tour of my studio. Bear with me just a couple minutes and I swear we will be on the beach for the rest of this video. So, this is an old sushi restaurant where I live. This is the view from my front door. We're facing west here, so we get beautiful sunsets. It's dawn. We're about to go out on the beach, so it's not that beautiful at the moment, but it gets better. So this is the typical kind of stuff you find on any beach: net floats, coral, driftwood. This is kind of a pumice stone that is used in construction here. And these are nautilus shells that come to us all the way from India. They don't live in this water. This is the first piece of my art I'll show you. This is a Thai stop sign. Thank you. This says, "Yut, stop." This is all Coca-Cola caps. Every single item you see represents an old man bending over to pick something up off the ground and going, "Ugh!" as he does so. Bits and pieces. These are called the Yindi twins. This is a Thai welcome mat. You see them outside many homes, many businesses, restaurants. Be a little boy, little girl, dressed in traditional dress with top knots. The top knots are very important. And it says, Yindi, Yindi Ton Rap, we're pleased to receive you or welcome. And you see them outside businesses, like I say. This is a failed art project. It's way too busy. The eye can't rest on anything. If I had to do it over again, I would make the background a solid color. You can see the background is cigarette lighters and bottle caps. This is the little boy. They always have their hands up in a gesture of greeting called a Y. They always have flower garlands around their wrists. And I thought how cute to put little boy toys on the little boy and little girl toys on the little girl. Unfortunately, it just made it way too busy. And I learned two important lessons. First, Thai people hate to look at trash. Second, it's hard to make something cute with trash. You can make it maybe interesting, but making it cute is difficult. We're going to take off our shoes to enter because it is Thailand, even though this floor is covered with epoxy and latex paint and bathroom caulk and other stuff. So I make big damn turtles. I call them my Fabergé reptiles. This one is almost complete. I make these and I give them away to restaurants and businesses in the neighborhood. Takes me about 2 months to make one of these. The last thing I do is the face. These will be the eyes. You can't see that. These will be the eyes, all right? And these black lighters will outline a smile. And hopefully I will make a face with some personality and some sort of appeal. And then this goes outside a home and it's got a platform on top you can put a plant on. And that also keeps children from playing on it. I always loved to play with little toy soldiers when I was a lad, and so I still do. Everything here came off the beach. Everything I'm about to show you, like I said, represents an old man bending over to pick something up off the beach. This piece is called The Usual Suspects, and it just tickles me that somebody made a toy of Mickey Mouse holding a knife. Mickey Mouse with a knife. These were early attempts. I made national flags because you can make them with rectangles. Finding something you can make with rectangles is difficult. Ukraine, the United States, and Thailand. And boy, don't Thai people just hate to see their national flag made out of trash. More stuff off the beach. Like I said, I'm a little OCD, so everything gets sorted and categorized. I very much like finding something man-made that has been taken over by nature. I think those are just lovely. These are just random net floats. I find thousands and thousands of those. Bits and pieces, these are called sea beans. These are also called sea beans. This is just natural stuff, the seashells and corals and sponges. This is the making for paper mache. All of these turtles have a skin of paper mache around them, 5 layers of paper mache. I used to make little movies with action figures about life in Thailand. That's a set for a traditional house in the Northeast. These are some more modern houses. Tools, materials, glues, hardware, other sets from other movies about life in Thailand. Paints and adhesives. This is Boontongs. Boontongs is the best beach bar in Thailand. We don't have any bars here. It's a very conservative community. There are no bars, discos, go-go's. There's no kind of nightlife here on Turtle Beach. So I made my own bar. This is a smaller turtle. This is a gift for the lady who sells me my cigarettes. All of these are cigarette lighters. These are bottle caps. That's my bandsaw. Love my bandsaw. This is my palette. Every lighter before it comes in the house has to be cleaned and stripped of its metal and bits and drained of gas. About a third of them still have gas in them. These are bottle caps. Again, every single item is cleaned before it comes in the house. Everything that comes off the ocean is covered in a scum of motor oil and dead fish guts. You know, the primordial soup we all come from stinks. So I get all of that off before I bring it in the house. These are some early attempts at assemblage. Assemblage, if you're not a graduate student writing a dissertation, I just glued trash to other trash, hung it on the wall. And what I learned is, boy, Thai people hate looking at trash. My audience is all Thai. There's only a handful of foreigners who live here. So it's all Thai people that come and look at this, and they really hate anything that comes out of the mouth. Straws, forks, spoons, I learned that. I love this piece. I'm not even repairing it. It's falling apart. One thing this project has done is taught me a lot about adhesives. I don't use hardware. I don't use screws or nails. I use glues. And you can see I'm missing some teeth here. They've fallen off. I'm not going to fix it because Thais hate to look at that. It's disgusting to them. They don't like it at all. This is something I enjoy very much. What that says about me, I don't know, but I have over about the last 18 or 20 months found 17 pieces of a chess set. Pieces from 17 different chess sets, let's say. Every single item on the beach comes from the beach. I've got 3, if you know anything about statistics, tell me why. I've got 3 black knights and 3 white bishops and no rooks. There should be the same number of rooks and bishops. And I've got both kings. I don't have any queens. What is it about those pieces that makes it hard to find? This is just I don't know why, but it amuses me. I'll take you in the backyard. That's about it. That's everything I wanted to show you. This will be my float in next year's turtle parade. There's a Turtle Day parade here. On a day they release baby turtles from the research center back into the ocean. It's a big deal. The festival goes on 10 days. And last year I was the first foreigner to ever march in that parade. And I marched next to a float of a cigarette lighter turtle, which I'll show you here in a bit. It's on permanent display in the national park at the moment. And this is my backyard. This used to be a sushi restaurant, excuse me, and they would serve food back here. Right now it's not used at all. That's a second bathroom and a laundry room. And I just hang these net floats here. I can't think of anything else to do with them. The Thais don't like them. They're too obviously trash. And so I just string them up and hang them on the wall. The bedroom is air conditioned if you're interested. This place is 6,000 baht, Thai baht a month. That is 180 US dollars a month. And for one man living alone, this is adequate. And it gives me a lot of space to play with my beach trash. And I enjoy this very, very much. All right, that's it. Now that you know what I do with this crap, let's go out to the beach. What do you say?
We're at a place called the Remain of the Tin Dredging. I wanted to start here and tell you a little bit about this place. It'll take about 3 minutes to walk down to the beach and begin beachcombing. If you're not interested in the history of this place, I get it. You are free to skip ahead 3 minutes. Otherwise, I want to tell you a little bit about where we are since this is the first episode on the channel. So yeah, this is the Remain of the Tin Dredging. And for a while, these giant pieces of machinery were sort of the symbols of this place, Mueang. And then somebody realized that the turtles are a lot more photogenic than giant scraps of iron from the industrial age. But the landscape is still littered with big pieces of metal. This is a national park now. I'm going to try to get over here and get the sun out of there. The sun is coming up at 6:30 in the morning. I like to get on and off the beach before it gets hot. This time of year, it gets very hot on the beach. And I am 66, and I can only carry so much water with me. So, this is the end of the road. We've ridden the bicycle almost exactly 10 kilometers. The original mining concession to the Chinese tin mining company was for 10 kilometers. Now, mining began here in the 1700s and it continued till the 1970s. This area was the world's 5th largest producer of tin. Back when tin was important, after Napoleon Bonaparte realized he could put meat in tin cans and feed his army as it traveled on its stomach. And up until the end of World War II and the dominance of plastics in the packaging industry, tin was very important. So back in the 1700s and 1800s, they would, the tin mining companies would, this is the, I digress. This is the Mueang Ranger Station office, and it's used for Boy Scout meetings and things like that. They don't station rangers here anymore, not since COVID, I think. And there are, you know, the usual plaques and things for tourists, a flagpole, but there's never any tourists here. There's never anybody here except me, almost never anybody. There's a couple other old men who either jog or ride their bicycles down here in the morning. But for the most part, it's this is Hot Satep, Steve's Beach. This big concrete form is the remains of the operation that was shut down here in the 1970s. Just became unprofitable to mine tin after that. So they used to have these big machines that would dredge. This is the rainiest province. Allow me to lecture just a moment, and then we'll be on the beach, I swear to God. This is the rainiest province in Thailand. Thailand's a very rainy nation. This is the rainiest spot in Thailand. So millennia of rain have carved channels out of the mountains. You can't see it because the sun's coming up, but there are mountains back there. Channels would run down to the sea, thousands of channels. And in the 1700s, late 1700s, about the time of the American Revolution, they figured out that you could sift the silt at the bottom of those channels and get a lot of tin ore. So there was nobody living here at that time. Nobody ever wants to live on a beach until the invention of tourism. Nobody ever lived on a beach. You can't grow anything here. The soil is nothing but sand. You can grow coconuts and pineapple and palm oil, and that's it. So it was worthless land, so nobody lived here. So the king of Thailand brought in shiploads of poor Chinese miners from Hokkien, China. They did 5 years of indentured servitude, and at the end of 5 years, they could take their pay and go back to China, or they could stay here, marry a local girl, and establish a town, which is what they did. Thai Mueang means end of the mine. Because when those channels met the sea, if you were one of these indentured servants, one of these indentured miners, and you completed your contract and you didn't want to go home to China, you could put a tent at where one of these channels met the sea, and you could sift the last dregs of ore out of the silt and sell it back to the mining company, and you could make a living. So Thai Mueang, end of the tin mine. Remain of the tin dredging. If you want to find this place on Google Maps, that's what you look for. I was an editor for 25 years. I've been a writer my whole life. Typically, a typo like that would drive me nuts. For some reason, I forgive it here. There we go. Finally out of the sun. Sorry about that. I ain't a pro. All right, we're at the beach. There's the bicycle. To get here, we have driven 10 kilometers down an absolutely straight, absolutely flat, empty road with no intersections. There's no other traffic. This is a cul-de-sac. This is Thai Mueang, the end of the mine, the end of the road. For Steve Rosse it is. I'm going to stay here until they carry me off this beach in a black plastic bag. I'm going to show you what I take with me real quick. The backpack will stay here. I leave the bicycle here. I've never owned a bike lock. Come here almost every day. Nobody's ever touched it. You come through a gate to get here, and all the rangers on the gate know me. If you tried to leave this place with my bicycle in the back of your truck, they would note and ask you why you're taking Steve's bicycle. So I leave the pack here and all this stuff. I take with me 3 shopping, oh, this is hard to do, 3 shopping bags. 3 shopping bags, a bottle of water, a Ziploc bag with a couple of sachets of silica to keep the phone dry, and a couple razor blades to cut nets that I find on the beach. All right, that's the history lesson. Welcome to Thai Mueang, the remain of the tin dredging, and let's get on the beach. So this is Turtle Beach. It's 13 kilometers long, goes that way about 10 kilometers south. Goes north another 3 kilometers to that headland called Khao Nayak. That right there I call Lone Tree. Typically that's how far I'll walk in a morning. This time of year the beach is relatively clean, and I wanted to launch the channel now while it's clean, because in about a month I'm going to show you a very dirty beach. It is for the most part cleaned up here. The park rangers keep it clean. This is the quote remain of the tin dredging. There are some public restrooms and showers, and a sort of a building where Boy Scouts have meetings and things like that. So they'll come out a couple times a week and they will clean up here. These are jellyfish. These are very common here. One reason the turtles like Turtle Beach is we have a lot of jellyfish. Most of this dark stuff that you see is organic material. Casuarina leaves, casuarina needles. Oh, I'll take that. Casuarina needles. I won't take a straw. Thai people hate anything that comes out of the mouth. There's a ton of straws and forks and spoons on the beach. I don't ever take them. But like I say, this time of year, it's fairly clean. What's out here is largely organic, natural stuff. Twigs and leaves and stems. There is some man-made stuff. And there'll be more up there. The park rangers stop cleaning at this, this sort of lagoon that comes out in the rainy season. There are predominantly certain types of trash that I can find. One of the most common is the twist-off lids from water bottles and other drinks. The second most common is cigarette lighters, because they're incredibly rigid and strong. They're designed to hold compressed gas, so they survive the ocean better than a lot of other stuff. As I said, straws, forks, and spoons, I think because we just use so many, and we use them once and we throw them away. This is all single-use plastic. This is from a Coke bottle, if you can see it. Red is the most common color cap because Coke is the most popular drink. Spoons. Spoons and forks are common. I don't pick them up because I can't make art with them. You see these rake marks? This is the rangers coming out and raking up the sand. So here they keep it relatively clean. I think right here is where they stopped raking. If I had 2 hands free, I would take the lids off those 2 bottles and leave the bottles on the beach. And I was berated by a woman, I think she was German once. I don't know what that is. It's an interesting shape. but it looks too much like garbage. Thai people won't look at art if they can tell it's made from garbage. I have to make my art out of things like cigarette lighters and bottle caps because they can be made pretty. They can be cleaned and they can be glued to boards and they can be coated with polyurethane so they're shiny and pretty. Anything that looks like garbage, Thais won't look at. Shoes, there's a tremendous amount of flip-flops on the beach. See, here's more raking. This is the inlet that feeds water to or from the remain of the tin dredging. And in about a month, this will be full of water and I won't be able to come this way and I will have to take my walk south from here. And that's fine too. I reckon the odds are the same of finding a chess piece, which is what I like to look for. They're the most rare thing. I've got 15. Oh, here's a little soldier. I like soldiers. They're fairly rare. And this guy's complete. This is a fish trap that has washed ashore. Now typically I will take my razor blade and cut up those nets so it doesn't continue to catch fish and turtles and other things. Because I'm holding the camera, I don't have a hand free. So I'll get that on the way back. When I come back in, I will cut up those nets. And now you can see what it looks like when the rangers don't come up and sweep. And again, most of this stuff is organic. That's a little tiny cuttlefish spine and a lot of casuarina needles, and that's it. That's all harmless stuff. That's all stuff that's been going in the ocean for millions of years, we assume. I have only lived on this beach for 2 years, but I will assume that that stuff has been washing up for millions of years. Wood, sticks. The casuarina tree is an invasive species. It was brought in by His Majesty King Rama IV to be used to make ties to build the railways during the Industrial Revolution. It is invasive, it has taken over, it is forcing out the natural mangroves, and they talk every now and then about an eradication program, but they may not have to wait too much longer. There are spots on this beach where erosion is knocking down 100-year-old trees that have stood on the beach for 100 years. But the tides are coming in much farther now than they ever have in the past. And I'm not going to speculate on why that is. You can draw your own conclusions, but the tides are definitely coming in. You see this berm right here, this berm of sand, that is the highest tide mark. Every 2 weeks, the sea will get up there. And it is getting deeper and deeper into the mangroves. Those are mangroves, these are casuarinas. And it's knocking down 100-year-old casuarina trees. Oh, another thing that lasts is brown glass. I don't know why. This is an energy drink bottle. If I had a hand free, I would take that lid. Oh, they're shiny and pretty. For some reason, brown glass survives. White glass, green glass, blue glass, all sorts of glass gets chewed up and turned back into sand, into the silica it was made from. But not brown glass. Those brown energy drink bottles are everywhere. Here's another net. Another crab pot. I will cut those nets when I come back. All right, that's it. I'm going to put the phone away so that I can use 2 hands. I also pick up any plastic bag that I see. Oh, this is a turtle nest. This has been here obviously for weeks, so the turtle tracks are gone. The first time I saw this, there were turtle tracks. Like I said, 2 weeks. It takes 2 weeks for the sea to come back up here, and it'll take away this nest. Oh, there's a cigarette lighter in the back of the nest. The turtle has uncovered a cigarette lighter for Steve. How kind of the turtle. All right. So that's that. I'm going to put the phone away so I can use both hands to pick up trash. But I wanted you to see what the place looks like when it is this time of year, when the wind is out of the west and it's pushing all the trash in the ocean towards Sri Lanka. I imagine the beaches on the eastern coast of Sri Lanka are very dirty this time of year. And then 6 months out of the year, they push it this way, and this strip, this high tide mark, will be ankle deep in man-made trash in a couple months from now. I didn't want your first exposure to Turtle Beach to be at its worst. I wanted you to see it at its best. All right. This is what the park rangers do with a turtle nest when it is reported to them. We're at the end of the turtle nesting season. This is a lagoon that I think is used to water the grass at the Aquila golf course. When a fisherman reports a nest, the rangers will come and fence it off like this, and usually they will camp near it for 40 days and wait for the baby turtles to hatch, and then they will measure and observe and describe these turtles and let them then go into the sea. You can see the nesting season ends when the tides start coming this far up on the beach, because the eggs won't be safe. Why this is still fenced off and there's no rangers here, I don't know. When the eggs hatch, they will pull these fences away. So this is still set up. I have no idea what's going on here. But at any rate, we're starting to get some trash on the beach. You can see the surface picking up. And one of the things we'll begin to find on the beach is big globs of crude oil, because the tankers flush their holds with seawater out at sea. And 6 months a year, those great big wads of oil come ashore here, and the other 6 months they come ashore in India and Sri Lanka. So that oil, and I will go home from the beach with oil all over the bottoms of my feet. It has to be removed with diesel, and it's just one of the prices of living on the beach in Thailand, on this beach anyway. I don't know what sort of animal leaves this track. I've only seen it once before on the beach. It's not turtle, it's not crab, it's not dog. I think it's a monitor lizard, what is called in English a monitor lizard. Here it is called hia. And hia is the very worst thing you can call a person in Thai, in the Thai language. That's fighting words. And they're ugly, ugly animals. They're vicious, they're strong, they're carnivorous, and they're disease-ridden. And this one was probably eating carrion, eating something that had washed up on the beach. And I don't know if this is his return path to the jungle, or this is the path out of the jungle. But right here is where it either entered or left the mangroves. And there's a lot of trash caught in the berms. You know, there's lids and there's just random plastic stuff that is exposed every 2 weeks when the tide comes up here. Oh, there's the sun coming up. I try to be done before the sun gets over the trees. This time of year it gets brutally hot on the beach. And again, that is Lone Tree. That is our destination. But we're going to go there down at the high tide mark where the trash is. And we need to get this done before the sun comes up over the trees far enough to put us in sunlight. And you can see we're almost there. It's probably about 7 in the morning, and already the sun has risen enough to make it uncomfortable out here. And these are the tracks, obviously, of a four-wheeled cart. When this was made a national park in 1987, they guaranteed the people of Mueang that they could continue. Oh, here's some more of that guy. Or maybe his mate. Or maybe his prey. They promised that the people could continue to make a living on the beach. They had been fishing on this beach since the late 1700s, and they still do. So the fishermen will come down and check their crab pots on motorcycles when the sand is hard, and on four-wheel, what are they called, gators in the States, when the sand is wet and soft. Onward. I see a fair number of these, not lots, but a fair number. This is a party bucket. On the party islands, they sell alcohol in these. Yeah, they're usually branded with a hotel or a bar. Paradise Beach. I don't know where Paradise Beach is. I'll go look it up. But that is something that you can plant a plant in or keep pencils in, so I'm going to take that. It's a very sparse day today. You can't really see anything in the bag except the spare bag that I bring along. Onward. This is a trucker bomb. That is urine in a Coke bottle. Fishermen on the big commercial boats, they sleep below decks, and it's a hassle to come out at night to urinate, especially if it's raining, and so they'll just keep empty bottles in the cabin, and they'll pee into those, and in the morning they'll throw them overboard. I have a particular use for red Coca-Cola caps, but I'm not going to touch that. And the bird agrees with me. Surf is starting to pick up this time of year. People have asked, we're on the Andaman coast, people have asked about tsunamis. There was a terrible tsunami in 2004. Took many lives on Phuket down there, and many lives at Khao Lak up there. No lives here, no property damage, nothing, because it's very, very deep just offshore. That is one reason why the turtles like it here. That and the fact that we have a lot of jellyfish, which is about the only protein in their diet. So there has never been a tsunami here, and there never will be. The geology is against it. It's way too deep offshore. Tsunamis are only dangerous in shallow water. Out at sea, a tsunami is only an inch high. It's when it hits shallow water and all that energy gets compressed into a very small space that it is able to lift water up and carry it across the land. So no, there's no danger of tsunami here, ever. Here is another turtle nest that has been fenced off by the rangers. But again, there are no rangers camped here, so it can't have eggs, I don't think. The biggest threat to turtle eggs on this beach are the dogs, the feral dogs that live on the beach. 5 or 6 dogs can dig up a whole nest and eat 100 eggs in a night. So if this had eggs in it, I would guess that the rangers would be camped here to protect it. But there are no rangers, so this is some part of the process Steve is not aware of. And unfortunately, most of the signage at the national park is in Thai, and I have been tested. I read Thai at a 3rd grade level, so it's laborious for me to pick my way through those signs. So I don't know what this is. I'll try to ask a ranger next time I talk to a ranger why they have fenced off a nest. And honestly, I mean, this is a depression that looks like it used to be a nest. What's up there, I don't know. One of life's enduring mysteries. We have arrived at Lone Tree. There's another couple kilometers of beach, but the sun is coming up. and I want to get off the beach before the sun bakes me. That's where we came from, just right there. I don't know, it's about a kilometer, maybe a kilometer and a half. I have no idea. I'm from the United States. I don't know anything about kilometers. But we're going to turn around and go back. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's saying, just wait, Steve. Wait a month. I will bring you all the trash you want. Yeah, look at that. That's the garbage delivery service right there. Isn't it odd? After 18 months of doing this, I come to the beach, and if it's clean like this, relatively clean like this, I'm disappointed. I want garbage. Bring me garbage. All right, I'm gonna go cut up that crab pot and then head home, and I'll head home up next to the berm. The sand is much softer. It's a slog, but you're out of the sun. I'll see you back at the remainder of the tin dredging. I just never, ever get tired of it. I do this almost every day. And I will, I think, until the day I die on this beach. That's the plan anyway. I'm gonna pick up this big piece of plastic so some hungry turtle doesn't mistake it for a jellyfish. It is not his intention to die on this beach. All right, here's the fruits of our labors. We've been on the beach about 90 minutes, half an hour to ride the bike down here, half an hour to ride home, about 2.5 hours invested total. It's a very sparse day. In another month, I will show you. It is not unusual. Well, I have come back from the beach with 300 lighters in my bag during the monsoons. So the lighters I keep and I use, I will clean them, pull off the metal bits, drain all the gas, and make turtles out of them. The same with these lids, these bottle lids. These are net floats. I string them up in the backyard. This is a hanger. I will hang some clothes on it. This is a piece of a sponge. When the water gets rougher, it's starting to get rougher now, it'll break off pieces of coral and sponge, and I'll find them. These are the remains of plastic flower garlands. This is that Paradise Beach alcohol bucket. These are nets, ghost nets. I'll take them and throw them in the trash can over there to go to the landfill. These are plastic bags. I bring them in so the turtles don't eat them, thinking they're jellyfish. And again, it is not my intention to clean this beach. There's 13 kilometers of this beach, and I will never clean this beach in any meaningful way. I am not a beach cleaner. That is Andre. He rides his bike down here as well. That's his bicycle. My bicycle's behind a tree. It is not my intention to clean the beach. This is a purely selfish act. I gather things that I like, that I want to use. This little bit of it is simply, you know, you see a dirty dish in the kitchen, you're going to wash a dirty dish. You see something useless and dangerous on the beach, you're going to bring it in. So that's today's haul, third week in April 2024. And I would, you know, by the middle of the monsoons, I'll fill this table. And I'll have stuff over here and stuff over here. And the ride home, I'll have all of that on my back. This is the visitor center of the national park. And I've come to give them a neckerchief, a scout neckerchief I found on the beach. But this is my first cigarette lighter turtle. Mani Iglao, he has come again. And this is my first bottle top lighter. Kids love to climb on it, so from now on I'm putting a platform to put a flower pot right there, because I'm afraid if kids climb on it, they'll break it. So that's what I do with the lighters. When the light is right, she shines up real good. I've decided I'm going to show you what I bring back each day for a week. As the season progresses, as the wind gets stronger out of the east, there should be more stuff. Let's find out. Today, we've got one of these big net floats. This one says Taiwan. I don't think it came here all the way from Taiwan, but it was put on a boat in Taiwan. This is old nets and plastic bags. That will go to the landfill. So will this. I don't really have a use for old lures, but I take them off the beach so nothing mistakes them for food. These I call pink anuses. These are blue anuses. That's a white anus. They are net floats. I just string them in the backyard. No other use for them, but I think they're pretty. These are sea beans. They're seeds that travel on the ocean like coconuts. That's a piece of coral. These are just little bits and pieces I like to collect. That's a marker for a net. It's got a flashing light on the top of it when it's working. Bottle caps, cigarette lighters, and I've been collecting the caps on these little gold boxes, and it occurred to me those would be great to put screws in. This close to the beach, everything gets rusty. The motorcycle, the bicycle, all my hand tools, everything gets rusty, including hardware, nuts and bolts and screws. So I'm going to start collecting the whole thing, the whole box. It's got an airtight screw-on lid. So I'll just, use it to store hardware. It is the last day of the week, and a very sparse day, as they have all been this week. And Steve is disappointed. Isn't that odd? You know, Steve is disappointed in a clean beach after a lifetime spent in the usual American male pursuits: education, career, family. At the end of my days on this beach, I find myself fascinated with trash. If I had known as a young man how fascinating garbage is, I might have lived a different life. But here we are, and whatever time is left to me, I will spend here doing this. So I've emptied my bags, I've taken off my hat, taken the phone out of its watertight bag. This is what we came in with today. These are containers. I have a collection of lids at home. If I find a lid that fits, I'll have a new container to keep stuff in. If not, I'll throw it in the trash. This is a float. I don't use them for anything. They're too visibly trash, but I put them out on the beach at home, and fishermen will take them and reuse them. These are more bottle tops, most common trash on the beach. This is a whistle. Whistles are very common on the beach. I think I've got about half a dozen of them. Little net floats, some lighters, the jawfish of the jawbone of a pufferfish, little piece of pretty coral, and a toy truck and a piece of wood that I'll sand and polish up and make it the base of something. I'm gonna take this bag of trash. I'm not gonna dump this bag out. You know by now what's in this bag, right? Nets, rope, plastic bags, right? That's gonna go in the garbage can to go to landfill. The rest of this will go on my back in the backpack to go home. I'm gonna take a shower right here, and right here, take a shower. And this is more difficult than I thought it would be. Why is that? And anyway, where's the bike? Where's the bike, Steve? There it is. There it is. Put everything in that pink backpack, put it on my back, and ride home. Say a prayer at the Spirit House. There's the Spirit House. Say a prayer at the Spirit House before I go. I haven't filmed that. That seemed posing, but I do. I say a prayer every time I come to this beach, to the guardian spirits. Thais are very animist. Don't let all the Buddhist temples fool you. They worship the rocks and the trees and the beach. And this beach is worshipped through a spirit house. And I say a little prayer there in the mornings before I go. So, saying goodbye from the remain of the tin dredging. I reckon to do these once a month through the rainy season, a total of 6 videos. On the 1st of each month. It's May 1st, so I'll take this stuff home and put this thing on the video and drop it on the new channel, the brand new channel. And listen, I know there's a beachcombing community out there. I've been watching beachcomber videos in English. At least they tend to concentrate in the Pacific Northwest and Australia, and they have much more trash on their beach. But I think I have a prettier beach, and it's all, it's mine. Nobody else is ever here. This is my beach to do with as I please. So listen, like, subscribe, and share. Particularly share. Like I said, I know there's a beachcombing community out there. I want to be part of it, but it's a community of introverts. It's a community of people who seek out emptiness, desolation, and the things that are cast away, the flotsam and jetsam of life. And we don't tend to congregate, do we? So maybe we do online. So let me know in the comment section if there was something you liked here, if there's something you didn't like. There goes Somchai putting out his crab pots. Yeah, reach out to me in the comment section. Let me know what's going on your beach, and I will see you on the 1st of June. Have a great day. Chok Tei Krap.
Whatever shaves your sheep, whatever bakes your lamb, whatever digs your peak, whatever smokes your ham, whatever blows your nose, whatever chews your bone, whatever squirts your hose, whatever sings your song. Do it often, but do it well. Nobody knows and there's no way to tell. When you're riding, shoot down, shoot that down.